In the history of imperial China, thousands of emperors ruled vast dynasties. They commanded armies and shaped civilizations. But only once in 2,000 years, a woman ruled as emperor. Her name was Zetian. She was not born royal. She rose from the lowest rank to command the greatest empire on earth. Emperors fell, queens vanished, enemies disappeared. Some called her a visionary, others a monster. This is the rise and the terrifying reign of Zetian.
Welcome to Historical Channel, uncovering untold stories, hidden facts, and the strangest chapters of history.
Zetian was born in the year 624, during the height of the Tang Dynasty, an age of poetry, trade, and imperial glory. China was powerful. Its capital was the greatest city on earth. Its emperors ruled over millions. But Zetian was not born into that power. Her family was wealthy but ordinary. Merchants, landowners, traders, influential but not noble. And in imperial China, birth was destiny. If you were not born royal, you could never dream of ruling. Yet even as a child, Zetian was different. She learned to read and write, studied history and philosophy, observed how men argued and how power moved between them. At the age of 14, her fate was sealed. Imperial officials arrived at her family's home. They selected her not as marriage, but for service. Zetian was taken to the palace, not as a princess, not as a bride, but as one of hundreds of concubines. Inside the forbidden palace, life was ruthless. Women competed not with swords, but with beauty, intelligence, and silence. Most would never be noticed. They would live and die as shadows. Zetian refused that fate. She watched the court carefully, learned which ministers held influence, which consorts were rising, which alliances were breaking. She understood something rare for her age. In the palace, love was temporary, but power was eternal. When Emperor Taizong died in the year 649, the palace fell into ritual and mourning. Tradition demanded that his concubines vanish from political life. Some were forced into isolation, others sent to monasteries. Their youth ended behind temple walls. Zetian should have disappeared forever, but destiny and ambition intervened. Before Taizong's death, the young prince Gaozong had noticed her, not for her beauty alone, but for her intelligence, her composure, her quiet confidence. Years later, when Gaozong became emperor, he broke every rule of tradition. He summoned Zetian back from the monastery. Scandal spread through the court. Concubines were not supposed to return. But Wu returned, and this time she came prepared. She entered a court dominated by one powerful woman, Empress Wang, elegant, well-connected, and determined to destroy any rival. Zetian understood her position was fragile. She was not noble. She had no powerful family to protect her. So she built something far stronger, the emperor's complete trust. She advised him on politics, helped him review petitions, listened when ministers argued. Slowly, the emperor stopped ruling without her. Then came the tragedy that changed everything. Wu Zetian gave birth to a daughter. The child died suddenly in her cradle. The palace froze in silence, and Wu accused Empress Wang of murder. Whether it was truth or the most ruthless sacrifice in imperial history, no one can say with certainty. But the consequences were immediate. Empress Wang was arrested, tortured, and executed. Within months, Wu Zetian was crowned Empress of China. From forgotten concubine to the most powerful woman in the empire. But her victory came with a warning. In the imperial court, power was never given. It was taken and defended with blood.
Power inside the Tang court was never stable. Behind silk curtains and golden pillars, every smile hid suspicion. Every bow concealed ambition. Now, as Empress, Wu Zetian stood at the center of a battlefield without swords. Noble families despised her, scholars questioned her legitimacy, and many believed a woman had no right to rule. Wu Zetian answered them with fear. She created a new instrument of control. Secret investigators, hidden informants, men and women paid to listen, to record whispers, and to report betrayal. The palace filled with rumors, accusations multiplied, and every accusation was rewarded. Ministers were arrested in the night, interrogations followed, confessions were extracted, sometimes real, often not. Families disappeared, names were erased from official records, princes were exiled, generals executed, and slowly, silence replaced resistance. But the greatest danger did not come from ministers, it came from her own blood. Her eldest son was now emperor in name, but Wu Zetian ruled in truth. When her eldest son showed independence, he died suddenly. Officially, from illness. Unofficially, no one believed it. Another son was placed on the throne. When he questioned her authority, she removed him, exiled him, stripped him of all power. To Wu Zetian, loyalty mattered more than family. Blood was replaceable, power was not. By the time years had passed, the Tang court no longer resisted her, it feared her. And fear was exactly what she wanted.
By the time fear ruled the Tang court, Emperor Gaozong was no longer the man who had summoned Wu Zetian back to power. Illness weakened him, his eyesight failed, and slowly the emperor disappeared behind curtains and silence. Into that vacuum stepped Wu Zetian. At first, she only assisted. She read petitions aloud, summarized debates, offered advice. But soon, advice became instruction, and instruction became command. Ministers no longer waited for the emperor, they waited for Wu. In public, Gaozong remained emperor. In reality, China was already ruled by Wu Zetian. When Gaozong died in the year 683, the empire expected a new ruler. Instead, it received a puppet. Wu placed her son on the throne, young, inexperienced, completely dependent on her authority. She declared herself Empress Dowager, regent of the empire. Every decree now bore her seal. Every army obeyed her command. When one son attempted to rule on his own, she removed him, forced him to abdicate. Year after year, Wu Zetian ruled from behind curtains, behind screens, behind titles. The empire grew accustomed to her voice. Her authority became normal, and slowly, the unthinkable began to feel inevitable. Why should she rule from the shadows when she already ruled in truth? By the year 690, the illusion could no longer be maintained. Wu Zetian was no longer content to rule from behind curtains. For decades, she had governed emperors, controlled armies, directed ministers, yet still, she ruled only in name. And in imperial China, names mattered. Titles defined destiny. So Wu Zetian made the boldest decision in Chinese history. She would not rule as empress, she would rule as emperor. In a single decree, she ended the Tang Dynasty. She proclaimed a new era, the Zhou Dynasty. And for the first time in 2,000 years, a woman claimed the dragon throne. Confucian scholars were horrified. Ancient texts forbade female rule. Tradition declared it unnatural. Rebellions erupted across the empire. Generals hesitated, ministers conspired. But Wu Zetian did not hesitate. She crushed uprisings without mercy, executed traitors, exiled rebels. And then she ruled, not as a symbol, but as a sovereign. She reformed the civil service, expanded imperial examinations, promoted talent over birth. For the first time, common men rose to high office. She strengthened the bureaucracy, stabilized taxation, secured the borders. Under her reign, the empire prospered. Trade flourished, culture thrived. Poetry, painting, and scholarship entered a golden age. Yet the shadow never vanished. Executions continued. Secret police remained active. Fear still ruled beside law. Wu Zetian was now both builder and destroyer, visionary and tyrant. But one truth was undeniable. She had done the impossible. She had become Emperor of China. Power had carried Wu Zetian to the summit of the world. But time was the one enemy she could never defeat. As years passed, the emperor grew old. Her hair turned silver. Her strength faded. And with age came loneliness. The court that once feared her now waited for her to fall. To fill the silence, Wu Zetian surrounded herself with new favorites, young, ambitious, flattering. Among them rose two brothers, Zhang Yizhi and Zhang Changzong. They were handsome, devoted, and dangerously influential. They controlled access to the emperor, whispered advice into her ear, accepted bribes in her name. Soon, corruption returned to the heart of the court. Ministers grew furious. Generals lost patience. The empire still stood strong, but confidence in its ruler was fading. Rumors spread through the capital of scandal, of decadence, of an aging emperor ruled by desire. Wu Zetian tried to hold control. She dismissed officials, replaced generals, issued harsher decrees. But authority built on fear weakens when fear disappears. And slowly, her power began to slip. In the winter of the year 705, the palace turned against her. Generals entered the forbidden halls. Ministers seized the gates. The Zhang brothers were dragged from her chambers and executed. At 80 years old, Wu Zetian was forced to abdicate. The throne she had fought a lifetime to claim was taken from her in silence. The Tang Dynasty was restored. Her son returned as emperor. And Wu Zetian, the most powerful woman in Chinese history, became a prisoner of her own palace. On December 16, 705, Wu Zetian died at 81 years old. No execution, no public disgrace, only a quiet end.